Going live?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Come on.
What about it, Wizard? You got this.
I know.
You want to just like clear up.
This open. You open to the open. And then open.
I got to make sure I'm prepared. Yes.
Then the open.
Yes, we're talking right now here.
Then the other open.
Here we go.
There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Huh? You stepping in here?
Welcome back to another edition live here from Raymond James Stadium. Is your Tampa Bay Buccaneers winners of 4 in a row as they clobber the Jacksonville Jaguars 30-12. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the great JP Peterson, in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. Got to get out to it. I mean, really, it started early, and I got to tell you, we've been all over Devin White all week long.
Yes,
Devin
we
White
have.
really did
Yes,
set the tone in this game.
Oh, he did. He played fantastic football. And, you just ask yourself, why doesn't he do this all the time or have a semblance of it? Why does it take all the shenanigans to get him to come out and play like we all know he can play?
Right.
And he showed it tonight. And, to me, though, this game is, and this team has become the embodiment of Baker Mayfield. He owns this team. He owns this town. And I was talking with Sal Paolantonio earlier, name dropping. And he's doing by the way, he did a one-on-one with Baker that'll be all over SportsCenter tonight. So make sure you tune in to see that tonight.
Beautiful.
ESPN giving the Bucs some love. You'll love that.
Yes.
But it is, I talked to Tristan Wirfs, and I'm saying, what is the identity of this team? He said 6. That's the identity. That's, the underdog mentality, count them out mentality. The guy had to walk on everywhere he's gone and earn every bit of respect that he's earned. He's a gunslinger. And that play tonight, that's that 3rd and 6 down by the goal line where he huddles it up with 2 hands, puts his head down,
yes,
like Mike Allstott. And that will be the signature play of Baker Mayfield's season this year, at least to me. That embodies everything he's about. I got to go get it. I'll do anything for my team. And this team has rallied around Baker Mayfield, and I love it. And he's taken this town by storm. As I said earlier this week on Twitter, he did more in the first week in the community than Tom Brady did in 3 years.
Wow.
And that's true. And we
amazing.
love it. And we love that he's done that.
Right.
He's embraced this community. His foundation has embraced this community. I asked him at the end of his press conference today, I said, you said when you got here, you'd like to make Tampa your home and be here a long time. And there were some times this year where I didn't think that was going to happen, but he is closing hard. He is closing with the ferocity that is really the embodiment of this team and how they play today. They are following his lead, and I love it. I said, this when your quarterback's mentality matches your city's mentality, I still see Tampa Bay as a very blue-collar town. It's not flashy, glitz and slits, Miami.
Right.
This is a blue-collar town of hardworking people who appreciate a guy like Baker Mayfield. And I just love how it's all matching up and how this team has now won 4 in a row. And they got the Saints here coming next week. And I dare say that I've not seen this team on a roll like this since, probably 2021, the 13-4 season. Yeah.
I think something happened in Atlanta because, listen, Baker had his worst game, but him rallying in the troops, if you will, that offense on that last drive, it really came together, and it certainly seems like, 2 more touchdowns eclipses Tom Brady's stats from last year. 2 more touchdowns, but by the way, Mike Evans. So this offense right now is rolling in passing game, running game. Maybe not necessarily was there, but it's been there. And this is the reason why you have the winning streak. And it goes back to this report that was put out today by Ian Rappaport, that the Bucs and Baker Mayfield will be mutually, beneficial to sign.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can get it signed right now. And I think there's a lot of fans out there that weren't fans of Baker Mayfield that are becoming fans of Baker Mayfield because of the type of play that you talked about in this game. And it's been there all year long. JP, when it comes to third down passing, he's been the man on the spot. When it comes to getting a third down, he's been the guy that scrambled. He's the basic, ingredient for this offense to go at some points when they are struggling.
Yeah. I asked Baker at the podium tonight too about playing with more confidence.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'm playing with more confidence. I'm trusting my receivers more, so that allows me to let it rip. I mean, when I see a tight window now, I know where Chris is crossing. I know where Mike is good. Like that shallow post or that skinny post that he ran down here for the touchdown, Mike Evans. There was a safety over the top and a trailing corner who was in really good position.
Yeah.
But when Baker throws that ball up here on that skinny post, that's you can't defend that.
Catching it besides Mike Evans.
You can't defend that.
Right.
And with the safety coming over, there wasn't much of a window.
Yeah.
But he stepped into that throw with confidence. As 2, maybe 3 weeks in a row, they've scored on that skinny post, and you can't defend it.
No.
You cannot defend that. That's double coverage. That's a safety getting over, and it doesn't matter. Because now he's starting to – and we said this before the season. It was going to take some time for this offense and for Baker Mayfield to learn his receivers. That doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
And this little corner route with Godwin, which was the key play in the Falcons game on third down that won that game. We saw it again today. They've got great chemistry on that little corner route. And the little slants, they ran the
screens.
The screens with great effectiveness.
A lot of that on the first drive there. With even though you settle for a field goal, that has opened up. Coming into the Green Bay game, you only had 4 screens the whole season. You have Godwin involved last week. This week, the same thing with the first drive. Going back to the defense, because I've been very critical of it. We've been very critical of Devin White. Maybe this is a wake-up call in the first place by Todd Bowles, because it definitely woke up the young man. Yep. And we saw 2020 postseason Devin White with the interception, using him in the blitz packages, getting after Trevor Lawrence, who, by the way, had no business playing in this game today. Give credit to where credit is due. That Bucs defense was great, getting after it, causing turnovers, but Lawrence was nowhere near healthy. And I don't know how he plays in this game.
Joking with my friend TJ Reeves off camera.
Come on in. I'm
not gonna let you sit out here just watching us jamokes talk. But we were joking, like, what do you think the concussion test was for Trevor Lawrence to play this week?
Look, and we're not going to belittle their serious things, but he looked fuzzy from the jump.
I don't know what test he passed.
Yeah.
If it was finger painting, if it was how many fingers am I holding up? 7, I don't know. But he did not look right today.
No, and the Bucs rattled him. They got 3 turnovers, and it was some early Christmas presents. Antoine Winfield delivering early presents down the chimney. Yaya Diaby, the sack fumble. Under the tree, Mike Evans, as you mentioned, with the touchdowns. I mean, it's going to be a Merry Christmas right now, Buccaneer fans. This is only the 3rd time you've won a game on Christmas Eve. You had been 2-7. You won back-to-back games in 05 and 06 on Christmas Eve, so it's been a little while. And this team has found something, as you guys are talking here.
Yeah.
And I know you want to go to the fans and let them talk as well, but it's a good thing. I mean, they have found something in a good way. This is a dangerous team. This is not everything, but this is a dangerous team on both sides of the ball right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you talk about the building blocks, Yaya Diaby, Kalijah Kancey. You see that. That's your future, especially Yaya Diaby. I mean, what can you say about this kid? It seems like every rep he's getting just better and better.
And Antoine Winfield Jr., at what point, you guys know this, but at what point does he start getting, like you were talking about Sal Pal and ESPN, NFL Network, the internet, at what point do you get behind defensive player of the year in the NFL.
Yes.
I mean, guys that are making plays in the backfield and then making plays 30, 40, 50 yards down the field as well, controlling the game with turnovers and takeaways and sacks. I mean, a lot of other pass rushers are going to get a run about being player of the year, but Antoine Winfield deserves to be in the conversation.
You know what his numbers remind me of, and I'll let you out on this because you have the historical perspective as well. And we said it before the year, but we all said it with a little cringe when we said it. He reminds me of Rondé Barber.
He does.
We don't have to cringe anymore. Right. This kid is putting up numbers all over the field.
He is not Rondé Barber yet because he hasn't done it for 12 or 13 years. He hasn't been
16.
In the league that 16. He hasn't done it that long, but he reminds you of him. He's playing at a very high level. Baker Mayfield at field level, guys, throwing darts.
Yep.
He is playing like you needed him to play. And I know we got some Buck fans up on the pirate ship.
Look at that.
Back behind us.
Yes.
It's Christmas Eve. Buccaneer fans, enjoy the way Mayfield is playing. Enjoy the first 4-game win streak since 2021. You won 4 in a row, late November, early December, on the way to 13 wins and the playoffs. Again, this is not everything, but you're getting hot at the right time. And, oh, what a matchup with the Saints. Next Sunday
let's go.
On New
Let's
Year's Eve.
go.
So Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Buck fans. Great job, Peter. Great job, JP.
Thank you, brother.
I'll let you guys carry it. I look forward to being with you later on this week.
Merry Christmas to you and the wife and the twins.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bet they get to get some basketball stuff.
Let's go out to the phone lines leading it off. And I know Leo called before. Call back if you want to. Eric, call back. The great TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network with JP Peterson. I'm your host, Peter Blake of the Sports Web, live here from Raymond James Stadium after the Bucs win 30-12. Let's go out to Ed. Ed, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, did the Bucs win today? I'm asking for a friend.
No, the Bucs did win today, 30-12, and they largely dominated this game. Ed, what did you see out of it?
Absolutely. I saw a team really coming together. Offensive line looked great at most of the time, which I was really impressed with. I really think, though, at the end of the third quarter, they should have took Baker Mayfield out.
But you kind of talked about this.
We talked about that.
There's a little bit of a neck injury there. Nothing on the injury report. But what I was concerned with, if you watch the replay, the defensive player puts him down on the ground on that bad shoulder. I think you're exactly right about this, Ed. JP,
there's no way Trevor Lawrence should have been in the game down 30-0. And frankly, there was no reason Baker Mayfield should have been in the game up 30-0. Either one. That's a time where Kyle Trask can come in, get loose. You may need him. Get him some meaningful snaps, some somewhat meaningful snaps.
Sure.
Todd Bowles had asked about that, and he gave some gobbledygook answer about our young guys are starters, so there's nobody up the play. We're not talking about Zion McCollum. We're talking about Baker Mayfield.
Talking about your quarterback.
Talking about Baker Mayfield. Get his ass. I mean, to his credit, and I don't mean this in a snarky way because it certainly sounded. Todd Bowles hasn't had a lot of experience being up 30-0.
Right.
So
That's
true. What the hell does he know about pulling a quarterback up 30-0? So I think he'll probably rethink that. On another, and let's hope he has that decision to make next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you take care of business versus the Saints in the NFC South, and then you start to talk about Kyle Trask possibly starting at Carolina, but I want them to win 10 because I predicted this Bucs team to go 10-7 along with Harry Creek. So we'll see if it happens. Ed, finish
I said
up
9 or 10. I was in the 8, 9, or 10.
There you go. So Ed, go ahead and finish up here. We'll get out to the other callers. You can use that second call if you want to.
Yes, sir. I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
And also, the Bucs played their best game this season against their toughest opponent, and they dominated against their toughest opponent. You can't ask for anything better than that for this Christmas present. And with that being said, I'm going to sign off for now. Take care, guys.
Merry Christmas, Ed. There you go. Good stuff. Let's get back out to the phone lines here. Welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show, live from Raymond James Stadium. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, guys. It's Bucs Basement.
What's up, Bucs Basement?
They're not in the basement. They're in first place.
That's right.
Oh, God. Yeah, don't even mind. I'm speechless. I don't even recognize this team, man. That's a good thing. It truly is. It's shocking to me. It's like Bowles is showing the biscuit. Yes. He hasn't shown the biscuit in 2 years.
No, you're absolutely right. 100%.
It's like he was told by management, you better effing win or your career's done. It's like he's coaching with his head on fire. I'm shocked. I do not recognize this team whatsoever. I was at the game.
Yeah.
We left with 10 minutes, and we were like, I don't even know what to put on a poster. I'm like, good job, Bulls, or whatever. I'm speechless.
Listen, we're all, we've watched every snap as you have. We've watched every bad decision that he has made.
Yep.
And I am absolutely 1,000% convinced that he has had an epiphany on this Christmas Eve. There's been an epiphany in Todd Bowles' world that I'm going to go for it on 4th and 2. I'm going to go for it on 4th and 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop punting the ball for 20 yards of field position. I'm going to play and coach with aggression. And his team has followed his lead. When you sit back and play safe like you do it against Houston, your teammate takes on, your players take on your personality. We're going to be soft. And this team was so soft earlier this year. It's not anymore. It's playing aggressively. It's being coached aggressively. The way he has sent blitzes last week with the game on the line, he's sending blitzes instead of sitting back in that soft cover 2, rushing 3 guys.
Right.
This is a totally different Todd Bowles. And I asked him that after the game. I said, are you coaching with more aggression? Has this been a philosophical change? And, I don't think he really gave me a straight answer on that, except to say that, I'm not used to being up 30-0.
Right.
So I can be more aggressive. It's harder but he was aggressive within the game when it was still a game on the line. He did it last week. He did it he's done it for 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah.
And this team has turned around.
It really has. And that's the key to it. And Trevor Lawrence coming into this game, Bucs basement, struggled versus the blitz. So that's good scouting. That's your defense. That's your bread and butter. And then once again, I know you're not necessarily the biggest Devin White fan, but Bucs basement, you got to say this was a hell of a game by Mr. 45.
Yeah, it was. I still don't want him back. I still thank you. Someone else can pay him that $100 million that he wants. But let me say, man, let me tell you, Cowboys and Eagles, I'll take them because they are on a downward spiral. Both of them are on downward spirals. So I don't know. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it in the playoffs, so it's going to be interesting.
Is the reason a lot of Bucs fans were like, fire Bulls. We don't care if you get into the playoffs or not because we're going to be eliminated. You don't know.
You never know.
You play the game.
You never know.
This isn't the NCAA committee where they decide because your quarterback is out that you're not able to play for the national championship.
By the way, a lot of backup quarterbacks in the NFL are getting it done.
Yes.
So the backup can win.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. Epiphany. Your word right there.
Shocking development.
Bucs basement. Go ahead and finish up here. Final thoughts. By the way, Merry Christmas.
There's no other final thoughts. Have a Merry Christmas, you guys.
Merry Christmas, Bucs basement.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Open phone line 727-255. 0391. It's 727-255.
See, we got some comments here coming in.
Yes, we do. I'm going to go ahead. You go ahead and talk about the game a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and read them.
Yep.
Hell of a Bucs win, guys. Another step closer for the playoffs with a hot quarterback.
Yep.
Let's go, Baker. Let's go out to Ben. LFG, Bucs win, definitely trending upwards.
Yep.
Brett, let's go, Bucs. Absolutely, Ben. What a first half. Definitely need more of that. And we talked about it. That really set the tone. They come out, this offense, I don't know what it is. The tempo is there. It's just like Dave Canales. Everything's clicking right now.
It seems to me that in the last few weeks that the emphasis has been on the passing game.
Yeah.
I think someone came to the conclusion that this is not a power running football team. It's just not.
No.
And your best assets are your receivers and your quarterback. The run game can be complementary, but your best assets are Rashad White as a receiver and a runner, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Trey Palmer got it done today. David Moore was part of it. Kate Otten is becoming a weapon. So, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to look at this football team and say your strength is in your passing game.
Yep.
Mike Evans is just a monster. Whether he's playing for a contract. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was like, listen, 3 years, $17 million a year, we can pay him, but I'm not giving him $25 million for the next 4 years. Okay, maybe I am.
Yeah,
okay,
I think you got to change.
Okay, maybe I am.
Because can you imagine this offense without Mike Evans? And Mike Evans continues to get it done week after week. He's had his bad games. We talked about it, the drop passes, but I just can't imagine this offense in this organization
this organization, this city without Mike Evans. Yeah, at this point, and I can tell you who's a really big fan of Baker Mayfield, the Glazers.
Yes.
had a conversation with, I don't want to divulge sources here, but Baker Mayfield is a favorite of the Glazers. So this contract extension is, you might as well already be signed. This is going to get done.
I'm going to ask you this. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, my co-host of the Sports Web, says it's going to be too rich for the Bucs' blood that it would be $40 to $50 million.
Oh, you think there's going to be other suitors?
I think it comes down to a point where you're so comfortable with the Bucs and you're so loyal, and maybe that's not reality. But I think
if somebody's coming at him with a $45 million a year, hell, Daniel Jones got that.
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
But also, you also look at the Deshaun Watson contract and what a disaster that is. So, now there've been a lot of bad contracts. But listen, as much as Baker wants to be here, if somebody's offering him $45 million guaranteed over the next 4 years, either the Bucs are going to match it or he's going to leave. That's his business. And should the Bucs match that? Listen, as we sit here today, I don't want to be prisoners of the moment, but his last two games have been fantastic, and it's not just thank you.
And the long and that agrees,
and it's not just the numbers. It's the fact that he is the leader of this football team now. So, but listen, there's a long way to go. If they lose these last two games, everything changes.
Right.
They win these last two games, and win a playoff game here. Everything changes.
That's it.
So I'm saying there's a lot of football to be played. I know it's only 2 games, but imagine making a decision on Baker Mayfield. If he wins these last 2 games, he wins a playoff game here, and then, who knows what happens. But if he does that, I mean, just freaking put a throne up, and he can name his price.
Because you got your
lose these last 2 games, which is still very possible.
Right.
It's maybe not the last game, but this game next week against the Saints, I'm not, we're very high on the Bucs right now.
Right.
But the Saints are coming in here with some business to take care of as well. This is not going to be a pushover game. This is going to be what's on this field next week. I mean, you want to talk about some emotion?
Oh yeah.
And some physicality.
2
teams that hate each other on New Year's Eve, like the ball's coming down, like ring the freaking bell.
Yes.
It's going to be this is going to be a freaking war next week.
Absolutely. Let's go out. So definitely good comment there, Ben. Man, where was D. White after week 1? Agree, Giovanni. Let's bake the Saints. Who's with me? Absolutely with you.
Yes.
Victory Christmas Monday.
Yes,
absolutely.
baby.
Fire those cannons on that.
Yep.
Let's go out to Richard. This was supposed to be the hardest game in the last quarter of the season. We sliced through it like a lightsaber through butter. LFG, let's go. Win the damn
lightsaber
NFC
through
South.
butter.
I like that,
Nice
right?
imagery, yeah.
Ben right there. Victory Monday. Absolutely. Victory Christmas. Merry Christmas out there. Hopefully you got your shopping done. Bake the Saints like cake. Game on. What about those Bucs, baby? Let's go. Eric says let's go.
You guys got any questions
Bucs,
out there while we got a bunch of cheerleaders here?
Wind me up.
It's fantastic. There you go.
727-255-0391. Let's go out to Eric. Eric, welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show.
What's up, Peter Blake? What's up, you guys?
What's going on, buddy?
Merry Christmas.
Remember, I told you guys before the game, Devin White was going to have a pick, and I told you the key White, Winfield, Baker, and Mike Evans.
Yeah, stars of the game. Yep.
Well, Eric, to be fair, you also said that if Devin White doesn't work out, that Todd Bowles should be fired yesterday. So how you feeling about that comment, my friend?
Yeah, but because nobody thought Devin White was going to be that good after being benched.
Hey, that's a fair suggestion.
Listen,
Eric,
I didn't want him to
Merry
play
Christmas.
today. I didn't want him to play today, but who's to say KJ Britt wouldn't have played as better? So I'm not going over, board on the Devin White stuff. He came to play 1 game. Where the hell has that been all year long?
Yeah.
Where's your professionalism when you let your team down last week? So I'm not, you made some plays today, but no, I'm not re-signing him. Hopefully he plays his ass off the rest of the way and he gets a contract, but
all right.
I'm good.
All right, let's go here. Trevor Spicoli fed us those tasty turnovers. Trevor Spicoli, I like that one. Spicoli.
I do, yes.
Michael Hulk, we tried to stay, see you, but it's too late. Ben, LFG, I'm definitely strutting to work tomorrow. Hopefully nobody works tomorrow. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, for God's sakes.
Everybody working tomorrow? Who's working?
Who's working tomorrow?
Sorry, man. You're working tomorrow? Well, strut on. Sweep the Saints. Who's with me? Absolutely. Tim says Trevor Lawrence never should have been playing. Eric, Peter Blake told you Devin White. Yes, we went through that. Mike, reprieve and chance for redemption for Devin White. Carl, awesome game. We were coming together at the perfect time. Go Bucs. Greg, Olaf from Costa Rica. Costa Rica got
What's
to fire
up, Costa
the horns
Rica?
on that one. Trevor says go Bucs.
I'm gonna need a house down there.
There you go. Baker is rubbing off on Bowles. Yeah, you won big today, my friend.
I did.
Good stuff on that. Congratulations.
You guys want to go? You want to go over all my prop bets that I won today?
You should.
Look at
You
this
should.
parlay Bucks under 43. Thanks for missing those 2-point conversions.
There you go.
And Bucks plus 1.5. That's a cash parlay. Some of the other props: Trevor Etienne under 54 yards, cash. Rashad White over 26-yard receiving, cash. Trevor Lawrence under 250 yards passing, cash. Trevor Lawyer under 23 yards or 23 completions, cash.
Here comes the money.
Chris Godwin over 54 yards, cash.
Here comes the money.
Chris Godwin over 5.5 catches, cash. I got proof right here. Cash money.
Cash money. Great
Cash
stuff.
money. I had Rashad White over 99 total yards. He did not reach that. So out of my 10 prop bets on this game, I lost one.
Good stuff, man.
There you go. Tune
Right.
into the JP
Great
Peterson Show and make money.
There you go. Bucks Basement wishing you guys a Merry Christmas. Was at the game wondering who the blue hell this team was. I'm speechless. Michael Hulk, I think he sent a star, so thank you very much for that. Let's go out to Greg. Most complete game of the year. Agree with that? I mean, we kind of talked about that in the press
in 2
box.
years. 2 years.
2 years, most complete game.
Yeah,
easily.
I think so. I mean, last week was pretty damn good at the Packers too. But your defense gave up 20 points.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jags would have scored today if it wasn't out of hand. I mean, but see, this is the thing. Todd Bowles needs to keep his foot on the gas pedal. This team cannot play. That's his deal. Let him don't let him play the run and try to shut a block. That would be his first one ever.
Yeah.
So no, it's like this is what this team does best: play aggressively, defensively, and offensively. We went through this stupid phase of trying to run the ball up the middle 25 times a game. Did you see that today? No, not until they were up 30-0. So,
and we kind of talked about it again. This team is more about passing the ball to set up the run. It's not like the run hasn't been a
passing
part of
team.
The passing team.
They've embraced that now.
Go back to 4th down and 2. You like that decision, Todd Bowles today? Very aggressive on that. I like the pitch. Kind of like a run-pass option where you commit the defensive lineman and then pitch it out to White. He gets the first down. 4th down play calling. Also aggressiveness by Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
You just can't
the
say enough
riverboat
about it.
gambler, Todd Bowles.
Love it. Trevor Miller says, Merry Christmas. Thank you, sir. Rona Bullock, okay. Mayfield has learned the team plays to the point of confidence versus arrogance. TB22. Agree.
Right now it looks like confidence, and arrogance, and that's how I want my team to play.
Yeah.
I want him to play with a devil don't care attitude. That's the way Baker plays best.
Yeah.
He doesn't play well holding the ball and trying not to make interceptions. Let it rip. And I think that's what he's done since that moment against Green Bay when he held the ball too long early in the game and got that sack fumble. I asked him that today. And he said, from that moment on, he's let it freaking rip. And that's what you can see what this team does now when they embrace that part of themselves.
They've embraced it. And, you can't be afraid for him to throw interceptions. And I get it. That was the big time thing with him coming to Tampa Bay with the decision making. And we've seen him throw some bad passes this year. But you could also see when you let it rip, he'll hit those small, windows. He'll make some amazing throws, which he did. Who was doing their best Rob Gronkowski impression there?
Payne Durham.
A
nice throw there,
too. A beautiful throw there that set them up for the touchdown.
The skinny post is my favorite, though.
I know
that
you
skinny
love that.
post is just unstoppable.
You looked at me.
What was the other TD pass?
Yeah, that was
a little out to Evans.
Yes.
Beautiful, single coverage on the outside, man-to-man, just to, beats his guy to the outside. That's candy from a baby right there. So. But good call by Canales to get him singled up in that situation down on the goal line. That's formation. And Canales has done it. I really feel like in the past 2 games, especially, someone said, Todd, we're not running the football like you want us to run, even though they were perfectly balanced today. But again, when you're up 30-0, that changes how you call the game. But in the first half, he was, they were throwing the football, and that to me, the last 2 weeks, it looks like to me that Canales has taken over more of the play calling than maybe acquiescence to Bowles' demands to run the football so freaking much.
That's what I was.
That's my opinion.
Also.
I don't know. I don't have that as information. That's just my opinion. That's what it looks like to me.
Greg agrees with you. It's no coincidence that the team is not forcing the run. It's a passing league, and the Bucs have plenty of weapons. Facebook user, it's all coming together at the right time all year. Go Bucs. ALG, hey, it's TJ Reeves. Absolutely. Great post-game analysis, JP. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and give you that. Rams and Bucs, last 2 NFC Super Bowl champs playing best football. You get a turnover, you get a turnover, you get a turnover. Laugh out loud, says Greg. Todd Bowles is the Undertaker. Roger Shoe, great show. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Dave, how sweet would it be to clinch against the Aints? Absolutely. The most sweetest thing. What is Peter King thinking right now? 2 wins. Michael says, Merry Christmas. Sandra Nagel, my mother, thanks a lot for tuning in.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Yep, watching the best sports talk show, the Sports Web, JP Peterson Show. I love St. Pete, Amped Up Sports. She's got it all. Merry Christmas.
Let's go.
Merry Christmas, Peter and JP. What a great present from the Bucs today. Big win. Dave, wake-up call for Devin. Got to say he played great today. Looked like 2020 Devin. Go Bucs. Greg again. Confidence is key. You know I'm right. Go Bucs, proving the doubters wrong. Greg again. Baker won't want to start all over again. He has a baby on the way, and that's what I kind of say. People go, money, money, money. Somebody's offering you a team. Maybe it's just the fact of you're comfortable in the situation, and because that team gave you the opportunity and you're comfortable in this offense, a second year of Baker Mayfield and a Dave Canales offense would be tremendous. And the Bucs are going to add to it because they're going to have money. They're not the race. They're going to spend money.
No, they're going to have money next year. And here's the thing, it's hard to find a quarterback in this league.
Exactly.
And just because you draft one that looks like, Caleb Williams and runs around and throws the ball all over the place, like I've seen that in college,
Yeah.
I've seen it a gazillion times. Are they successful in the pros? Not all the time. Not all the time. And you got to find a quarterback that marries well with your franchise, that marries well with your city. And I think that's very important to the Glazers, to be big in the community. And nobody embodies that better than Baker Mayfield. And do I think, Baker's ceiling is lower than, say, some of these quarterbacks in the draft? Yeah. But I think his floor is a lot higher too.
Sure.
And his leadership abilities are a lot higher too. Like I look at Caleb Williams, I don't think he's going to be a good leader. I think NFL players are going to see right through him.
Right.
I don't. So he looks great as an athlete, but there's so much more to being a quarterback in the NFL. And we've seen Baker now within this system.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him, in the locker room. We've seen how his teammates. I mean, if you guys could have been in that locker room, and I went around and asked 4 or 5 guys about Baker Mayfield, and it's not like you're asking about Brady where they have to give the obligatory answers,
right.
And it's in their hearts and their souls when they tell you they love that guy and they'll do anything for that guy. And that's the reason why I said before the year, this offense would be better than Brady's offense last year. And I said Baker Mayfield would have a better year than Tom Brady did last year.
Yes, he did.
And that's happening.
Yes.
So, and this offense is markedly better than last year's crappy offense. So listen, is Baker's ceiling super high? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Is it high enough to win a Super Bowl? I don't know. But you know what? I love watching this guy play.
Yeah,
and I love covering this guy.
Yeah.
I love everything about him. So, maybe the Bucs don't win a Super Bowl for the next 3 years if they but I think they're going to be highly competitive.
Sure.
I think they're going to be scrappy. I think it's going to be fun watching them, and I like it. I like the vibe, and it's very Tampa Bay.
Well,
it's exactly the opposite of what Miami is.
Blue collar. It's a blue collar.
You can have your Tua,
right.
And you can have your Waddle, and you can have your Cheetah, and you can have your glitz and your glamour. I will take a roof on our house if you can give us that. I'll steal that from Miami.
Right.
But that team is soft, and I don't think they're going anywhere.
No.
Give me my Baker. Give me my Tristan Wirfs. Give me my glass eaters up front. Give me Rashad White. Give me a badass Mike Evans. Give me that son of a bitch Chris Godwin, who's so hard. He's a hard man to tackle.
Yep.
I love this team. I'm coming to love this. Give me Yaya Diaby, just wrecking people. Give me Kalijah Cansey wrecking people. Vita Vea wrecking people.
Yes.
Give me that old man Levante David, just like Jesus. That guy won't go away,
Yep.
and he still plays great. And our corners are underwhelming to say the least. But
well, Carlton Davis got hurt. He went out with a concussion this year. Zion McCollum came in, made some plays, also gave up some plays. I think he's probably going to be the starting corner next year. And I'll go back to the
Jamel
quarterback
Dean
situation.
lost in situations.
I mean, all year long. How many times has this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team drafted a rookie quarterback and it's not worked out? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen are not growing on trees.
Right.
This Bucs team traditionally is better with a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
Now you can go get an edge rusher with your first pick.
There you go. Or an interior line.
Or an interior lineman. Or a corner.
Kool-Aid McCaffrey from Alabama.
So now suddenly, how much better is your team?
Jared Verse from Florida State.
I'll take him.
I'll take
two. So, I mean, think about it now. If you don't have to waste a pick, let's say waste, but you have to pick to a quarterback, how much better can you make this team?
Right.
A lot better.
Right.
So, and that's how you can build. And, I hate to say this, but if we can get him on a little bit of a hometown discount, Baker Mayfield, we love you.
Right.
The community loves you.
Incentives.
And you know what I think? And also, let me say this about Baker.
Yeah.
I don't think Baker Mayfield is going to go in there and say, I want as much money as I can possibly get. I think he would. I think he loves this situation. And I think he also understands the less money he takes, the more there is to spend on other players. Mm-hmm. And I think he can trust Jason Light and the Bucs to go out and get those players. So, and Baker's made a lot of money off the field. I think he's smart enough to know if I grab 50 for myself instead of 30 or 25, there's less for others, The
Brady blueprint.
I know, listen, I know the union don't like that. Right. I know the union hates that stuff when they, but you know what? If I were Baker Mayfield, that's what I would do. Yep. I'd say guarantee me an extra year on my contract at 25 instead of a shorter contract at 40. Right. And then that's what I would say. Give me a little bit more longevity, same amount of guarantee, more money to go around to buy more players around me. I'm a team player. Yep. That's his MO. That's on brand for him. Helps the team. It's very community forward. So, yeah, I like that.
I agree. All right, so go Bucs.
His agent's like, shut the hell up, JP.
Yeah, but
shut the hell up.
Baker may go for it. Baker won't want to start all over again. He has a baby on the way, Greg.
That's right.
Bloodbath next week, Greg. Again, I got a question. What are those Christmas cookies you made, JPP? Christmas cookies? You made Christmas cookies?
No, I made meatballs.
Okay, good defense. I'm
making the meatballs today and the sauce.
The meatballs.
The sauce. The beautiful Ashley just texted me and said, I'm stirring the sauce like you told me to stir.
All right, stir it up.
Slow
Not
stir.
to be confused with Harry the Greek stirring something else up.
Oh, is he stirring some scissor?
Yeah, always. U.S. firefighters, police, EMS, doctors, nurses are working tomorrow. But it's better for me now that the Bucs got the win. Thank you very much for that.
Thank y'all for working, by the way, you folks out there.
Sparkle Pie, baby. Great game. Thank you, Sparkle. Sign Evans. Rod says, I agree with your opinion. Merry Christmas, whoever you are. How about them?
How many questions?
Quick. Let's finish them out.
Ask us some questions.
Yeah,
make some points.
Jim,
thank you, though, for all your sweetness.
Yes, we love the fans
I love you,
here.
people.
We will have
thank
money
you.
next year to improve our offensive defensive line. Great.
Yep.
College quarterbacks are less humble because now they're getting paid NIL. I mean, that's the thing. That's a good point. Merry Christmas, Victory
There's some
Monday.
quarterbacks making more than Baker this year in college football. Shedeur Sanders.
Right. Rod says,
that's not a joke, folks. That's true.
That's true. Rod says the ceiling can be there for the right pieces added. Let's go out to Sean. Go Bucs.
Yeah.
Greg, Bucs can add a center in the defensive end.
That's right. Absolutely.
Steve, who's the guy who's talking to himself? I don't know what you're talking about. Laugh out loud, Steve. Man Brown, just keep leading the Bucs to wins. Baker Mayfield will get paid. I'm with the Bucs, win or lose. Next victim, best team is going to win. Bring it, eights. And Brian says Peter Blake is the goddamn man.
There you go.
He is as important to Bucs as Baker Mayfield. I kind of like that, and I also say this guy right here is the goddamn man.
Brian,
I don't necessarily want to curse.
We have nothing to do with them
Eve.
winning.
Well,
I don't know.
For moral support.
I don't know, because a lot of the stuff that we have talked about on the JP Peterson Show and the Sports Web.
Yes.
About being more aggressive defensively, about being more aggressive offensively, Baker letting it rip.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing.
Yes.
That's what we're seeing, and it's working.
Maybe
working.
They were listening.
Maybe they were.
Maybe the whole motivational thing was out there. Let's see. Okay, hold on. We'll get back to that. Mike just keeps building on that Hall of Fame resume. 5 away from 100 touchdowns in his career. I don't know what else to say about Mike Evans besides, to me, once again, he is a Hall of Famer. It's not a Hall of Great. It's a Hall of Famer.
Somebody asked me before this season if he was a Hall of Famer, and I said no. I said, no, he's got to put together a couple more seasons at least to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he's doing that.
Yeah.
So, and this is a big deal. When you're 30 years old and you go out and pull a season together, like, he's probably going to finish with, I'm going to say 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean,
at 30 years
at
old,
30 years old,
nearly 31. He's
that's
supposed
a Hall
to
of
be washed
Famer.
up.
That's a Hall of the big difference in there, because it tells me he can do something similar. If he does 1,300 next year and 11 touchdowns, that's a humongous year. And he starts piling on. He's going to be in the top 5 in touchdowns.
Yes.
He's already in the top 20. I think he's 27th for overall touchdowns. I think he's already into the top 15 for receiving touchdowns. Actually, I think he's in the top 10 for receiving touchdowns. When he gets done, if he has 3 more seasons like this, he's bubbled. Well, first of all, he'll surpass Jerry Rice's 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yep.
Or is it 14?
It's 11.
It's 11. Right.
11
consecutive. So surpass that. He won't surpass Rice's catches or total yards or touchdowns. But he's going to be in the top 5. Yeah. So that's Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's like no-brainer Hall of Fame.
Easily.
No-brainer.
He's never had really a consistent quarterback, say like a Tom Brady. He had Tom Brady a couple years there, but he's never had that.
Right.
Jameis Winston, Josh McCown, Mike Glenn, and now Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield may be his favorite quarterback after all, because it certainly seems like, once again, they have chemistry working.
They do.
They have chemistry. He has chemistry with Godwin. So final thoughts here, because I think we're out of comments. I mean, unless you guys want to take some more phone calls, I think we'll just wrap it up here on this Christmas Eve.
Listen, I think, to me, the story today is the bake.
Yes.
The cake is baking, and it looks really, really good on this Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
The pies are baked. It's all baked. And he's just taking over this town, and he's taking over this team. And I want to give credit to the defense as well. They play with their hair on fire, but I think they're following his lead. And all great teams have this. Yeah. They have a leader, and usually it's the quarterback that they follow, and they gain inspiration from him. They win with him. It's football's a funny game. Sometimes it's not just about, the good-looking, long-haired Trevor Lawrence, can't miss quarterback who missed a lot today.
A lot.
If you ever noticed that.
A lot.
That's what everybody tells me. That's what you need to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Give me Baker Mayfield 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10. He don't have the long flowing locks, but he's got some moxie, that kid, and he's got leadership abilities, and that goes a long way in this league.
That's what we heard throughout the offseason there. Let's go out to Ed using your second call here on a Christmas Eve edition of the Sports Web, live here at Raymond James Stadium with the JP Peterson Show. What do you got, my friend?
Does this mean that we can say that Todd Bowles has saved his job here, or his career?
Has he saved his job? Has he done enough? I mean, it comes
I don't
down
think
to
you
two
can.
games.
I don't think you can fire a guy who wins a division 2 years in a row, and it goes on a 6-game win streak to end the season, and goes into the playoffs. I don't. He doesn't deserve to be fired at that point. But listen, if he goes back and coaches his, the safety dance style, and loses next week, and then loses the following week,
and doesn't call
then he's
timeouts.
fired.
Yeah.
Then he's fired.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. So there's a lot of that. How meaningful this game is next week for so many people.
Huge.
Their careers are on the line.
Do they flex it? Hopefully they don't, because I know there are a lot of people
is it a 1 o'clock?
It's a 1 o'clock game.
Oh God, and I got a Lightning game that night.
Wow. Hopefully you don't flex it.
Oh God, don't flex it. I don't think they
can. They flex it? That's the next thing.
A week out, can they do that? God,
I mean, so much. I mean, and then Jacksonville, and people saying, Jacksonville, they're on a downturn. They lost 4 in a row. The Bucs have won 4 in a row at this point, and they clearly look like, a very scary team. And if you're the Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys, the way this team is
you don't want to
right
come here and
you
play.
don't want to come here. And
you don't want to come here and play in week 1,
especially the Eagles. I think the Eagles are the team right now that could be coming here besides the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, and they're just reeling.
Yeah,
they are reeling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ed, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you,
nice.
my friend. I don't think he's done either. They got 2 games, which you got to win next week versus the Saints. So
there's a lot. Yeah, there is a lot to be. We become prisoners of the moment. We want to give Baker an extension today. We want to give Todd Bowles an extension today. Again, they lose next week to the Saints on their home field.
Yeah.
And then, the Saints go, and then you're out of the playoffs. I think you might still be able to get a wild card.
Yes.
Still might be able to get a wild card. So you won't be done. But let's just say they lose this week and don't get into the playoffs next week. Then, Baker has a bad game, and then the last week they don't play well. God forbid, if they lost the last 2 games, then Todd Bowles is fired.
Yes.
And Baker Mayfield's probably not getting an extension.
Right.
So as good as we feel about this right now, there's a lot of football left. No, do I think that's going to happen? No. I think this team's on a roll.
Yeah.
I think, at this point, I got to say they're getting to the playoffs, and they may finish 10-7 on a 6-game win streak. So if that's the case, then, the party continues.
And you look at the money that was being saved by the organization. I know we don't always like to talk about money being saved, but $4.5 million for Baker Mayfield and his production, and the contract they signed with Derek Carr, and he has struggled mightily with that offense. I got to tell you right now, I feel good about this. I know the Saints.
You know what's funny about that is the Bucs wanted
Derek Carr.
They wanted Derek Carr too.
Yeah.
And he chose New Orleans.
Good for him.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Baker Mayfield was the right guy for this offense. So
sometimes it's not that it's the deals you don't make.
That's it.
That make you.
And that's why I say when everybody says, well, Baker Mayfield he may want a higher deal with somebody else. Yeah, of course. But maybe there's just a part of you that says, you know what? Maybe if I take a little bit less and I stay in the same offense, I'm more comfortable in that situation.
Lots to be decided. But as we sit here on this Christmas Eve, my friend, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes.
The most important things in your life, your family and your friends. All right. So not football, but tonight, football's pretty important.
Yes.
It's pretty damn good. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun on this Christmas Eve, you guys, to have a team like this that played the way they did today and a quarterback like Baker Mayfield that you really want to root for? Yeah. That's a pretty damn good Christmas present for all you Buck fans. So sleep well. Hope you guys get everything you want under the tree. But more importantly, hopefully you get to see your family and your friends and you hug them and you love them because those are the most important things.
And on that note right there, no JP Peterson show tomorrow. We'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday.
I was going to take Tuesday off, but right now I'm feeling a little froggy. I think we should do a show Tuesday.
Okay.
I think we should do a show Tuesday.
You'll be doing a show with Tuesday either with Tim or Nick Geddes. Yes. I'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll be here
Sal
live.
Paolantonio will be joining us on Wednesday.
What a great
Sal Pal, again, has a great one-on-one with Baker Mayfield. They'll be all over SportsCenter tonight, so check that out.
All right. For the great JP Peterson, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Bucs win Christmas Eve 30-12 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How do we end it off? Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans out there of the Sports Web and the JP Peterson Show, it's your time. Have a great night. Bucs win, and they are definitely in the playoffs here very soon, in the playoff hunt. See you later. See you, bud. Yes, sir.